Welcome back, everyone. Tuning into Living for Life with Dr. Peter Smith. And we got some pretty good news here at iWatch Radio. So we've been signing on a lot of shows. And actually, as I walked in the studio today, we signed on another show. It's called St. Louis Business to Business. So be on the lookout for that here in the next coming weeks. And from what I hear, they have a pretty good gathering and a pretty good following already. So they're going to be promoting different businesses, different small businesses here around St. Louis. So if you are a small business looking to get your name out there and looking to rub elbows with some pretty good connectors here in St. Louis, make sure you tune into that for sure. iWatchRadio.com, and that'll be directly following my show every single week at 4 p.m. on Wednesdays. So I hope everyone had a great week. Actually, last week was a little crazy here at the iWatch Radio studios as tornado warnings and sirens and tornadoes were actually touching down here in St. Louis while we were doing the show. So that was a little crazy, especially after the things that happened in Joplin, Missouri. And so don't forget our hearts and our prayers and our thoughts and feelings really go out to those people in Joplin, Missouri that had everything taken away from them. Not just loved ones, but I mean everything that they've had, everything they've ever worked for. And I have a very good friend that actually went down there to help out with some of the volunteering, and she said it was just absolutely, for lack of a better word, amazing to see how much destruction this tornado really, really did. And it absolutely wiped out the most busiest street, in Joplin, and it wiped out both sides of it just all the way down. So for those here in St. Louis, it's the equivalent of like a Manchester Road or maybe a Lindbergh Road, to where it took both sides and just wiped everything out all the way down. So our hearts and prayers and feelings definitely go out to those people in Joplin, Missouri. And if you do want to donate anything else, don't forget we are taking some donations here at iWatch Radio. So the address is 11972 Dorset Road, St. Louis, Missouri. So you can either contact the Facebook page of iWatchRadio.com or also my Facebook page, and we can point you in the right direction on what you can and what we're actually looking for to donate to those people down in Joplin. Like I said, I hope everyone had a great week. It was a holiday weekend, so I hope everyone was safe. I spent my weekend up in Chicago, Illinois, where we got quite a bit of rain. So I know down here in St. Louis, it's summer weather. It's 95 again. Be on the lookout for some of the shows coming up about sunscreen and how toxic sunscreen can actually be to your health. So everyone makes sure every time they go out, they lather up in sunscreen, SPF 50, 75. I've even seen upwards of 100. They make sure that they just lather it on and just slap it right on, head to toe. But actually, that's doing toxic things to your body. Don't forget, our skin is the most vital organ. For one, it's our outer protective covering for all the other organs. So it's actually our biggest organ as well. So if you put a toxic substance on your skin, the body's going to absorb it, and therefore it goes into the bloodstream, therefore it gets into the digestive system, it gets into every other system in the body. So there are other healthy alternatives out there to sunscreen. So I say that because as I drove by here today, I saw a couple pools. They were packed today. So just be safe. Make sure you use the sun in moderation. It's like anything else. A little too much is bad. So make sure in moderation if you need to use some clothes. So like I said, make sure you stay away from those heavily toxic sunscreens. Every single week we talk about the 5 essentials of health and what it really means to be healthy here. So remember, we're trying to build a community of people here, not only in the St. Louis area, but also across the Midwest and soon across this entire country, of healthy people who want to be proactive about their health, who want to be healthy from the inside out, and not just wait to be diagnosed with something or just go down that path of just not knowing what to do to be healthy. So that's exactly what this show is geared toward. This show is geared to make sure you have the correct and proper path to go down every single day of your life to make sure you're becoming healthier. So those 5 essentials of health, don't forget, we talk about it every week, so hopefully you have those memorized by now. The first essential is your maximum mind. So how is your mindset? Are you in a stress-free environment? Do you have a good relationship with God? Do you have a good relationship with your family at work? Those all fall into that essential number 1. Essential number 2 is your maximum nerve supply. And by that I mean your nervous system. So that means your brain, your spinal cord, and all the nerves that run throughout your entire body fall into that nerve system, and that nerve supply is essential. So what are you doing to make sure that your nerve supply is at its optimum? The root of every single disease is a decrease in nerve supply. The brain is not able to tell the body how and when and how much quantity to produce something. So for example, my brain is telling my body or my stomach right now to digest the food I had for lunch. If it's not able to do that properly, the body can't digest the food properly, therefore I can't get the proper nutrients out of it, therefore I don't get the proper fuel out of it, therefore it can affect my energy level, it can affect how well I sleep at night, it can affect how little my fuse is with my kids or with my coworkers, and it can affect just a variety of things. The third one is maximum lean muscle and oxygen in the body, so your exercise system. So what are you doing to really make sure that you're getting the most out of your body? We know that, if you do the nerve supply and the diet, yeah, that's part of the issue there. But what are you doing to exercise? Because when you exercise, the body goes through a vast change of different hormones are being produced. The growth hormone in your body, there's estrogen actually produced as well, and your metabolism speeds up. And it'll actually give you more energy throughout the day if you're actually working out during the day. It doesn't really make sense that if you expend energy to work out, you'll get more energy, but that's how the body works. What you put in is what you get out. Same way with what you eat. So that's another thing. Diet is what are you eating? And that's really what today's show is going to be all about, is the diet. And a lot of you have heard me talk about the advanced plan or the healing diet, and I haven't really touched on it or really stepped into it a whole lot, but today we're really going to get into it. And this could actually go on for numerous amounts of shows, maybe 3-4 shows, just because it is so extensive, but the basis of it really is quite simple. So I always say garbage in equals garbage out, no matter what you do. If you put in garbage energy into something, you're going to get garbage out. If you don't put 110% into something, you're not going to get 110% back from it. So it's the same way with your diet. If you're just eating the McDonald's, I think I drove past 3 McDonald's here on my way today. If you're stopping and giving into those cravings for the Big Macs, the chicken nuggets, which I don't know if anyone has YouTubed it or Facebooked it out there, but if you YouTube how to make a chicken nugget, it's almost a surefire way to make sure you never want to try another chicken nugget ever again, because it comes out as a pink paste, and they just paste it on a little tray, and there you go, there's your chicken nugget. They put it through a little fryer, and there's your chicken nugget. So if you can imagine, that's not really chicken. And I know a lot of people lately have been saying, where's the nugget on a chicken? And it's actually a bunch of different parts of a bird and of a chicken, not even all the time chicken, mashed together into a paste. If you knew what you're eating, you probably would never eat it again. Sure, it tastes good, but you're not getting hardly anything out of it caloric-wise. Therefore, you're not fueling the body properly. So, like I said, diet is really what we're gonna touch on and focus on today. And depending on how much we get covered, and depending on if we have any phone calls and how many emails I get, that's a big thing. I've been getting a lot of emails lately. So how many we get from after this show to the next show, we might even touch on it again next week as well, because it's the first thing to really go with people. What I've always noticed that when people are working out, they don't want to eat the McDonald's or the fast foods, or they want to stay away from the alcohol consumption, or they want to stay away from the really fatty things that they know are bad for them, the sweets, the chocolates, those certain things. And it's weird how that happens. When one of those essentials gets in gear, the other 4 are going to want to follow. And we haven't even touched on the 5th one yet, because we're still talking about the diet. The 4th essential. The 5th one is minimizing the toxins in the body. So of course, there's toxins that we can ingest, whether it's the things we breathe in, so that the air quality in your house, in your home, in your city, what you put on your skin, like I talked about with the sunscreen. That's a huge one, especially with the summer months. But also there's toxins that are developed in your body based on the food that you eat. So there are actually toxins in your body that will come out of the food that you eat as it breaks it down. They're in the form of what they call free radicals. So when there's different free radicals in the body can't digest certain things the way that it should. So you don't get the proper nutrients out of it. And most of the things that really carry these free radicals aren't really that nutritious anyway. Sure, they taste good. Sure, they're great on the go. But eating well is almost a full-time job. Most of your elite athletes, what they'll do if they don't have someone cooking for them already, but the people who, like myself and everyone else out, 99% of the people out there who can't afford that, but what a lot of people do is cook it at the beginning of the week. They'll cook their food, all their healthy food, one day, maybe a Sunday, get all their lunches packed up for the week, That way they don't have the night before, if they are tired or they have something come up, maybe a son or daughter soccer game, gymnastics, work runs a little late one night, whatever it is, they always have that lunch the next day, and they're not forced to go out and get something quick on the go. So that's a great way to really not only eat healthy, but also to cut down on your time management as well. If you can do all that one day, maybe on a Sunday night or a Monday night, and you wake up early in the morning, maybe you're an early riser, do it that way. It's a great way to make sure your day is planned out, and actually when you eat better at lunch, you have more energy through the day. How many people have noticed that lunchtime, that morning shift is done and over with, and guess what? You're on the go. You're ready to go. You're full of energy. You go eat. You load up on the French fries, or you load up on a big, huge 12-inch Subway sub with bread and all sorts of stuff, and then you come back and you are just toast. You're wiped out, and you are just not ready to hit that second half of the day and really be as productive as you can. Now, I know for me personally, I do a lot of lunch meetings and things like that. I do a lot of out trying to meet people at lunchtime. So my lunchtime is a little bit longer than most, but if I come back that second half of the day and I'm seeing clients or patients the rest of the day, you don't want to be one of those patients where I'm not at my tip-top shape. Same way with anyone else. You want to be at your tip-top working performance that second half of the day. So what you fuel yourself with at lunch is 100% has to do with your energy the second half of the day. Most people I know will go out and grab that energy drink, the Monster Energy or Rockstar Energy, whatever, Red Bull, or that cup of coffee with a quadruple shot of espresso, which I didn't even know they had till lately. I had a buddy of mine who said he gets 4 shots of espresso in his Starbucks every day, and I couldn't believe it. I wouldn't sleep for days, I would think. But so many people rely on that at lunchtime to get them through the second half of the day, and that doesn't have to be you. And what coffee actually does to you, coffee is the number one drug that all Americans use on a daily basis, not just 1, 2, 3, 4 times a day, sometimes even upwards of 6, 7, and 8 times a day, whether it's the caffeine pills, the energy drinks, the energy shots now, you name it. There's some sort of energy out there, and whoever does the marketing for these places, really, they do a great job of telling you that you need more energy through the day. And it's really pretty darn simple on how to do that. If you can eat right and you can get the proper amount of sleep, just because you sleep 8 hours doesn't mean you're getting good sleep. So that's another thing of your energy level. So as soon as we come back from this quick break, I know it's a little early in the show. We're going to take a quick break though, and then we're going to come back and we're really going to hit hard on not only what you should eat, but why you should eat it as well. That's another thing. A lot of people know what they should eat, but they don't know why they should eat it, and that's a big thing. If you know why you should be eating it, you're more apt to actually, when you have choice A and choice B, you'll pick the healthier choice A over the less healthy choice B. So we'll see you back in a couple minutes. We are going to touch on water supply and water intake as well. So make sure you grab that glass of water. Make sure you are fueling yourself, especially in the hot summer months. Make sure you're getting that proper hydration, because actually most of your fatigue syndromes are from a lack of water intake throughout the day. So if you're not getting close to 100 ounces of water per day, you're probably a little dehydrated and you're probably a little fatigued because of it. So make sure you grab that big glass of water. If you need to chug it, do it. But we'll see you back in a couple minutes. So make sure you grab that glass of water. We'll see you back in shortly.